Hello everyone. So today we are going to start with the new tutorial series. So here we are going to work on a, a design weaver for architectural projects, or you can actually apply this to any other kind of a design weaver project as well. So we are going to implement a simple weaver which allows us to switch between different things. In this case, these are two different buildings. We can orbit around the building or whatever the object that you want to showcase, and you can zoom in, zoom out, and also a widget appears here, and then you can switch to the other one. So basically this is what we are going to work on. So in the initial episode, in this episode, that means I'm gonna work on this orbit camera, which allows you to zoom in and out around the object and also orbit. So this camera system, this is what we are going to work on in this episode. In upcoming episodes, we will work on how to switch between these two buildings and also how to add these UI components into the system. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you, you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects that I have done from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can download anything without any limit. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave the links in description below. Alright, so this is what I have right now. This is just a map that I put together using example assets. So the first step is developing a pawn or something like a character that only allows me to orbit around these buildings so that I can view them and zoom into them, zoom out from them. So basically just a weaver. Okay, so first thing, I'll create a new folder, blueprints, and let's create a new blueprint using the type pawn. I'll call it VP Weaver Pawn. Right, now open it. So right now it does not have anything, so I'll add a spring arm component into that and give it some angle, a little longer, maybe like 1500. Then attach a camera to that. Should not have any, that should look like this. Okay, now this is our character. Let me put this character over here. So like this. Then maybe let's put it inside, but when I put it inside, you can see the camera comes closer because I have, by default I have collision test enabled. If I disable it, it should go. It should be like this, and I think we need a longer spring arm length, so 3500. Okay, that's good. Right, so let's say I need to look the building like this by default. Now select this character, and here I have assigned the game mode. So by default, if I play it, we will have the default game mode like this, that we can just simply look around. Nothing much. Okay, so now if I select that character, the weaver pawn, here I'll process it. So it will be like so. Here this is what we get. When I play the game, this is what I get by default. Now the next step is allowing the character, orbiting around this building. So to do that, first thing is we need inputs. So I'll create a new folder called input, and then under input I'll add a new input action, IA look, and then open it, change this into axis 2D. So now in order to use this, we also need something called a mapping context. So here let's create a input mapping context, IMC viewer, and add the action we defined. Oh, this is a body look. Oh, we already have one in the project, but that's okay. This is the one we created. So I look. Maybe I should change this to avoid any confusions. I will orbit camera. Yeah, that's better. Now here I need to give mouse XY 2D axis, and right now we have the mapping context and the inputs. Then the next thing is we need a player controller as well. So before that we do need a game mode. So let's create a GM viewer, and here I'll assign that. Now as the default pawn, I'll use the viewer pawn, and the controller we don't have one, so let's create one. Player controller, I'll call it PC viewer. Make sure to assign it here. Then here we need to give the mapping context. So basically we need to say this is the mapping context this player controller should use. So to do that, we can get enhanced input, enhanced input local player subsystem. Oh, not that one. This one is valid. Then I'll add mapping context here. What I want is this IMC viewer. Okay, now we can use these inputs inside our character or pawn. So IA orbit camera. Now here if I split this, we can access X values and Y value. So now if I want to rotate using these values, orbit the camera using these values, let's first try with the X value. So I can add your input, add controller your input, and connect this here like this. Now this wouldn't work right away unless I enable this. So let me show this. Yeah, it's not working, but if I enable this, now it's working. But the problem is we are in the ground level, so we are not starting with this with the default angled view that I set. It's over here. That's because once I enable this, these the angle that I have added here is cancelled out because it's using the pawn control rotation. So to avoid that, we can do this. We can get controller. We can leave this disabled, and here let me remove this. Set control rotation. Now as a starting rotation, I'll get the camera, get world rotation, and I'll use it as the default rotation, starting rotation. And then after that, I'll enable use pawn control rotation. I'll enable it here like this. Okay, now see, now we can orbit around this building nicely, and it fails too fast actually. Maybe we should smooth it out a little bit. So to smooth it out, here select this spring arm, and here you have lag. Under settings, under details panel, lag, enable rotation lag. I think something like 5 would work. Yeah, this seems better. Okay, now we can orbit around the building. So the next step would be getting the pitch. So that means go up and down. For that, we can use this. Add pitch, add controller pitch input. So if I set it like this, let's see what happens. So we can do this without any limits, which I don't really like. So I think it would be better if we can control this. So we have exactly the thing that we need for that. Here, set max pitch. We need to get controller, get player controller, max pitch. What's this? I don't remember. So if you enable this context, max pitch, set view pitch max, this is under camera manage. Okay, so get camera manage, set max pitch, I'll say 80 degrees. Max is actually not a problem, but set mean pitch, I think 30. So promote these to variables and make them editable in the detail panel, so you can give exact value you need based on the building, that you need to have each pawn assigned. Oh wait, wrong. Max should be minus 80 and minus 30 because we are looking down. No, I think this is the 30. Okay, so this should be the smaller value, so I think it's 30 minus 10 is minus 80. Yeah, this should be good. Let's see. Yeah, I can look down like this much, go up this much. Okay, great. And what's next? One more thing, if you need to invert the y direction, here you can multiply this with a minus. If you want to invert y-axis, like this, now it's inverted. Okay, the next step is zoom in and zoom in out. Okay, so for that we would need another input. So for that, here I'll add a new input, IA zoom, and this is, I think I can set this to axis 1D ISO. Yeah, then go to the context mapping, here add IA zoom as the key, mouse wheel axis. Okay, now here I can ISO. Can use ISO. Let me just print the value and see what I get first, just to make sure things are working. Yeah, now I'm rotating the mouse wheel so you can see the values are coming. Great. So here now I can get the spring arm, set spring arm length, set spring arm length. So I need to increase and decrease spring arm length. Using this, we can use this, get length, maybe we might need a multiplier here, otherwise things would be too slow. So let's try something like 50. Yeah, now it is working. You can zoom in and zoom out, but I think this could be a bit faster, and also we need to smooth it out as well. But let's see. Yeah, so we need to have a limit as well. We shouldn't allow it to go too close. It can even go into the ground. So I think it's going into negative values. But to make it, let's first look at how to make it smoother. But smoothing, I don't think there is a default setting for that, built-in setting for that, because these are only, this camera lag only applies when we like follow an actor, like attached to a character when the character moves, not exactly for zoom, as I understand. So maybe let's do this way. I'll use tick function, and then let's collapse this to a function, or not function. Let me just delete this, add it in the tick, and so I can get the value like this. Okay, but still this should behave in the same way. Yeah, still no smoothing. So what I can do is, here I'll add a new variable, zoom I'll just call it zoom. No, zoom delta, and make it a float. Then here, instead of directly using the zoom value, I'll set zoom delta in this. So I'll lerp it. It's zoom delta lerp to the new value with the alpha. This should make it smooth. Then instead of using this, I'll use the zoom delta. Now let's see. Yeah, now it's much smoother. This is better. But if you want to make it further smooth, you can reduce the value. Okay, that's good. Now one more thing, now that we are using the tick function, tick event, I think we have to add the delta seconds as a multiplier here to make this zoom speed independent from the game frame rate. This make things a bit slow. I mean here, yeah. So we need to compare, because this is going to be a very small value. So to compensate for that, we need to increase this. Not enough. Another 0. Let's see. This is better. Okay, now we can smoothly zoom in, zoom out, and orbit. And the next step is making sure defining the limits for the arm length. So we can clamp this. And here I'll promote this to a value min arm length. Okay, no, let's say min camera distance, and this max camera distance. I think we had 3500, so I'll make it 4000 max, and min 1500 to avoid going inside the building. And if you make this public editable, you can select the character here and you can adjust these values according to the building that you're currently working with. Right, now here, this is the maximum zoom level I can go in. This is the maximum zoom out level I can go. This is the closest I can go. Okay, great. Oh, we are not clipping. Oh, we are clipping here, so that means we need to increase the minimum. All right, so yeah, now one more. Now that this camera or this phone is for this building, so I duplicate this, press Alt and drag. We'll have another phone here, but an error. Now if I want to start with this one, instead of this, you have to disable process for this on. Now here you can start here. Okay, but if you want to jump between these two buildings in the runtime, we will have to do some more things, like processing different fonts in the runtime, and then also we can have a UI that allows us to select which building that we need to focus on and show additional information of each different buildings, things like that. But I will look into those things in the next episode. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in another episode. Goodbye.